To understand China today, you must first understand the road not just as infrastructure but as a symbol of connection. For centuries, the Great Wall defined China a barrier, a mark of isolation. Travel was slow, distances vast, and provinces felt like separate worlds. Now imagine a China where those distances vanish in hours. Expressways and high-speed trains have replaced dusty tracks and river barges, uniting the nation. The Great Wall stands as a relic. The new icons are bridges and bullet trains built to connect, not divide. This shift from walls to roads has transformed daily life. A farmer in Yunnan can now send produce to city markets overnight. A factory worker can visit family across provinces in a weekend. Infrastructure is now China's circulatory system, pumping people, goods, and ideas at unprecedented speed. The psychological shift is profound, from endurance and patience to speed and ambition. The quiet path is gone, replaced by superhighways and container ships. This is the story of how China stopped building walls and started building bridges of concrete and of ambition. In a single generation, the nation has woven itself together, redrawing the map of possibility. Our journey begins on these new roads, tracing the framework of China's astonishing rise. China's infrastructure boom is rooted in a long tradition of state-driven projects. The Grand Canal, begun in the 5th century BC, unified north and south, moving grain and armies, shaping the nation's destiny. The Great Wall, while debatable in military value, was a powerful symbol of identity and control. From irrigation to imperial roads, infrastructure was always seen as essential for unity and power. The state's legitimacy depended on its ability to organize and build on a massive scale. Mao's era continued this legacy, focusing on industrial might and national integration. Railways to the frontiers, bridges like the Nanjing Yangtze. These projects, often built with immense sacrifice, laid the groundwork for future growth. The belief that the government must mobilize resources for transformative projects became ingrained. When reformers like Deng Xiaoping set out to modernize, they tapped into this deep current of history. China's drive to tame rivers and conquer distances is the ultimate expression of its national ambition. Deng Xiaoping's reforms began with a simple truth. If you want to get rich, first build a road. China's infrastructure was outdated, but reformers knew growth required modern roads, ports, and power. Special economic zones like Shenzhen became laboratories for this vision, demanding new infrastructure to attract investment. The government poured resources into these projects, often betting on a future that hadn't arrived yet. This marked a shift from Maoist control to economic pragmatism, connecting China to the world. Success in the coastal regions created a feedback loop. Better infrastructure brought more investment, fueling more growth. Building became synonymous with progress. New bridges and expressways were tangible proof of change. Local officials were judged by their ability to deliver results, concrete, visible, and immediate. The race to build swept across the nation, turning a slogan into a blueprint for transformation. Infrastructure was no longer just about unity, it was the engine of prosperity. In a generation, China's landscape, and its future, were utterly transformed. The road to wealth was paved, literally and figuratively. By the 2000s, China's infrastructure ambitions reached new heights. Expressways expanded from 16,000 to over 177,000 kilometers, surpassing even the U.S. interstate system. These roads, with their vast bridges and tunnels, reconfigured China's economic geography, enabling a truly national market. E-commerce giants and millions of new car owners now rely on this network for unprecedented mobility. Even more transformative is the high-speed rail, the Steel Dragon. Since 2008, bullet trains have connected all major cities, shrinking travel times and binding regions into economic powerhouses. A Beijing-Shanghai trip now takes under 5 hours. Cities function as integrated zones. Monumental train stations anchor new urban districts, redefining the Chinese city. High-speed rail has not just conquered distance, it's created a single, interconnected national organism. The landscape of China is now a web of speed, efficiency, and connection. China's urbanization is the fastest in history. Hundreds of millions have moved to cities, demanding infrastructure on a staggering scale. Entire cities have risen from scratch. Old ones have been transformed with skyscrapers and wide boulevards. Metro systems are the lifeblood. Over 40 cities now have subways, making dense urban life possible. Smart city technology merges concrete with data. AI manages traffic, facial recognition powers payments, and digital surveillance keeps order. This drive for efficiency has created cities of modernity and opportunity, but also erased historic neighborhoods and displaced communities. The challenge now is to build cities that are not just smart but humane and sustainable. Urban China stands at a crossroads, balancing relentless modernization with livability and identity. The future of the Chinese city will be defined by how it meets this test. China's rise runs on power, both physical and digital. The Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest, symbolizes the scale and cost of this ambition. But China is now the global leader in renewables, building vast solar farms and wind farms transmitting green energy across the nation. Alongside this, China has built a digital backbone, fiber optic cables, the world's largest 5G network, and a cashless, connected society. The digital Silk Road extends this vision abroad, with Chinese firms building networks and smart cities worldwide. Infrastructure is no longer just concrete and steel, it's data, connectivity, and global influence. China aims to be the architect of the digital future, not just the builder of physical things. The nation's power now flows through wires, waves, and code. China's infrastructure story now spans the globe through the Belt and Road Initiative. Ports, railways, and power plants are being built in over 150 countries, exporting China's model of rapid development. For many, this offers a path to modernization. For China, it secures markets and influence. But the costs are real debt concerns, environmental damage, and social displacement at home and abroad. China is now emphasizing sustainability, investing in pollution control and ecological restoration. The challenge is to balance growth with healing the wounds of the past. Ambitions remain sky-high tunnels under seas, railways to the Himalayas, and leadership in green and digital tech. China's infrastructure boom has remade a nation and is reshaping the world. It's a model and a warning about the power and price of building at breakneck speed. The global conversation now turns to how, and at what cost, we build the future.